So if somebody wants to try a raw food diet or is interested in that, how would you suggest they start? I would imagine it would be hard to stop what they're doing and completely switch over. Is it a gradual change better?
Well, the first thing we need to understand is why do they want to change? Are they doing it because somebody told them? Are they doing it because of a health issue? And that's going to determine how easy or hard it's going to be for them, why they're doing it. And I don't recommend people doing it for weight loss. I don't recommend people doing it to please somebody else. I recommend people doing the research, and if they know the raw food's going to be good for them, and they're going to have a much easier time with that change. You know, with change, consistency can break any habit. So it's either if somebody's going one way or the other with their diet, it's consistency. Now, I wrote a book called The Raw Life, Becoming Natural in an Unnatural World, to help people make that transition, because when they read that, they're going to understand how much better the raw foods are, and I have interviews in that book. The people have been eating this way for a long time, so people connect with them. And I recommend people, when people ask me what I can do, I say first get that book or a book, read it, get a raw food recipe book, and there's recipes in that book. Make some of them, and if you eat a raw food recipe, if you taste 10 recipes and you only like 2 of them, don't say this diet isn't for me. Say, well, that's 2 new healthy recipes I can add to my diet. And it's just, whether it's diet or anything else, change is always tough. But depending on the reason you're doing it and your attitude towards it, it can be accomplished.
Do you find that that's one of the big misconceptions when you talk about recipes, is that people think that there's nothing they can do besides just make a salad?
Well, when I first got into this, I had a raw food restaurant in New York City. And I remember I got a job there as a chef. And I called my dad and said, I'm a raw food chef. And he said, you mean you make salads? He doesn't understand. You can make anything you can make cooked, you can make raw. And I'm talking about vegan, vegetarian. So I can make raw burgers, I can make raw pies, cookies, cakes, everything, casseroles, everything. And that's what I do, and it tastes delicious. There's raw food restaurants happening all over the country now. And it's something people haven't heard of, so it's hard to understand. But I could serve raw food to people, and they don't even know it's raw.
Really?
It comes down to people that say, here's the average thing you get. You see somebody, oh, I don't like avocados. I go, really? But then they love a guacamole. It's the same thing. It's like, and guacamole is made with avocados. And I never had raw food. Have you ever had salsa? That's a raw food recipe. So it's just really, people will say things, but you can't listen to what they say. You got to see what they're doing.